Okie dokie dokie pokey pokey. Ho! Hello everyone and welcome back to the internet's best reactions. Today is the Canadian... Monaco's just fallen off the wall. Still a better race than Canada. So let's dive into the start of the race, the only real point of excitement, unfortunately, for all fans watching. The two Red Bulls got a pretty decent start, especially Max. And at Max J. Maguire says Bottas defending on the first lap. And it was really good because Max got a great start. Bottas and Max were side by side, but Bottas got his elbows out. He showed potential champion qualities there, and in my opinion, has been the better Mercedes driver this season. Controversial statement to start the video off. Continuing on from lap 1 was the Brendan Hartley-Lance Stroll incident. Alistair behind the camera is going to be fuming, even though he hasn't actually seen the race. Shock, WEC fanboy. We all know what Brendan Hartley was actually attempting at Miles_Crozio4. Was he though? I mean, okay, so this was an interesting point, purely because Lance Stroll, a lot of people were saying it's Lance's fault, which I agree with. He lost the back end, crushed Brendan into the wall. But at the same time, Brendan was, as I think Martin Brundle pointed out, very much putting himself in an area where he could, well, that could happen. He was very much putting himself at risk. So it was a racing incident. I think maybe obviously more Lance's fault, but Brendan really just shouldn't have been there. Now I love a good pun. At waffle crunching. Hadn't actually read his handle there. Strolling around the track, hardly any issues. I mean, it doesn't really make much sense, but the banter's, there was an attempt, and the gif's great, so we'll include it. So a little bit later on in the race, Claire Williams was interviewed. I think it might have just been for Sky, so if you didn't watch Sky, essentially Claire Williams was asked who was at fault, you know, what happened for this incident with Lance and Brendan. And she said that Brendan was at fault, that Lance was hit into him. What? Claire Williams didn't just say that, did she? It was Hartley's fault. Come on, at T Millsy TV. I completely agree. I think everyone was sat there like, are you at the race? Are you watching the race, Claire? Come on, please. At Ben Ashcroft 27 also comes in. Did Claire Williams even see that crash? I don't know, I don't think she did. Maybe she was watching Formula E. Oh wait, that was a few hours before, but what was she watching? Soccer Aid. I was watching Soccer Aid whilst the race was on. Rubbish race. Now this is something I noticed as well at Silver Fail. That huge crash almost made us forget what an amazing move Ocon just pulled at the start. Top class racing. I saw it as well. It was the side-by-side with Nico Hülkenberg going into the chicane. Nico went a bit wide, a bit deep. Continued on in front of Esteban. Then Esteban got a cheeky undercut, went round the outside, which is what Brendan attempted to do, but failed. And Esteban, clean as you like, Bob's your uncle, Jeremy's your aunt, done. At Lion_hat, trying to work out why Kubica isn't in one of the Williams seats. I can tell you why right now, actually. I've got the reason right here. I wish I had more. Actually, no, I've got some. Got my dirhams. 50, where the hell's the number? 5? Yeah, 55, 65 dirhams. That's worth about 50p. Minted. A few laps later, Carlos Sainz and Sergio Perez came to blows, in which Sergio said that he should be black flagged, which was a joke because the steward said that there was absolutely nothing wrong with it. It was just a racing incident. Going into turn 1, Carlos Sainz hit the back of Sergio. At Cam Anderson 77, rate Perez's drift. Completely agree. And also at Zandri Queet, lap 5 Perez in Tokyo Drift. It was really impressive, the car control actually, because I was like, no, that's going to end terribly, but it didn't. Well done, Sergio. Although not a great race from him. Esteban, very much the top Force India driver this time. Go Esteban! Now, if you watch our podcasts, you'll know of my Charles Leclerc fanboy. Oh, Charles. Shut up. At PRC DNL, Leclerc in P10, which is where he actually finished. That's all there is to say, just clapping. Yes. Charles in the points again. Where's Brendan? In the wall.
It's not his fault.
Now a lot of you, and I'm not exaggerating here, so many of you sent me the Harry Potter waving gif, and I was like, I cannot possibly put this in again. So instead, at NivNickJ15 did a similar one, but it's not, it's 50 Cent. Sebastian Vettel on the Ultra Softs, he was just gone. He controlled that race and fair play to him. He did all he needed to do. He managed the gap and drove away like 50 Cent. It was another one of those races. I think it's when it's not an entertaining race, when Hamilton just gets a little bit tetchy on the radio, especially when he's not in the lead. Lap 24, Hamilton right now at DavB040703. Are you telling me, Dav, that there's 40,702 of you? Come on. So it was about just after maybe lap 24, sort of the middle of the race, where everyone's starting to think, God, this is starting to be a bit of a dull bore fest. At BJL_91, I swear he features every time. When you have 3 DRS zones, Vettel drives off and everyone follows each other around. There was 3 DRS zones and just no one was overtaking each other. Boring! After the lap 1 crash, at TJones008. Now at this point, everyone was sending me sleeping gifs, yawning gifs. I'm falling asleep. I feel you, but please, we need your tweets, and I can't just have an entire internet's best reactions of people falling asleep, guys. Create, be more creative. Divulge into your minds of art. SamSunJ.edits from Instagram, all the exciting moments from the Canadian GP. That's me trying to find funny stuff to put in this episode. Now, I don't know the exact lap, but I think it was sort of 2/3 of the way into the race. Fernando Alonso, 300th race, and he had to retire. I thought it was going to be different this year, Fernando, at drum_muse. The person using exactly the same GIF, so we're going to have two on the screen here, Ali, okay? At Pam_Sandhu, when Nando DNFs due to power loss on his 300th GP, Alonso deserves better, and I need to read better. It was sad. It was sad to see Fernando Alonso retire, although I don't think he was that bothered. He wasn't exactly running in a podium place. Where's he going to be next season? Indy? Is he going to be a full-time WEC driver? Good joke. Or is he going to continue in Formula 1? Let us know in the comment section below. At D&W02. Needs no more words. That's actually a really good Photoshop. Now I could relate to this cat. I felt like this cat during the race. At Mika_Natunen, Canadian GP after the safety car came in. My God, it was like they were going round and round and round in circles. You know those people that don't really watch F1, but they go, oh, why do you watch it? They just go round and round in circles. And you go, no, there's elements of this, there's elements of that. But I could relate if anyone was new watching the Canadian GP for the first, watching Formula 1 for the first time. I wouldn't actually feel bad if they felt that way, because what was it, Alistair?
Rubbish.
And rubbish it was because, nice little segue here, at Kieran Garner, every time Lewis gets near Ricciardo, or any time a Formula 1 car gets near another Formula 1 car, they start drifting. That drift that Lewis had behind Ricciardo at the hairpin was redonkulous. You could just see, because the angle right at the start didn't really show it off, but then there was a replay and he was like full on Jim Khan around the hairpin. I know I always have a favourite GIF. Oh, what's your actual favourite GIF? I don't have to have a favourite. Every time I see one that I like, I'm like, oh, this might be my favourite. At Daniel_Sean15, watching this race after the excitement of lap 1, only to be disappointed. Perfect. That is actually me. It's quite distressing that the best part of the race was potentially the end of the race, when I think it was that supermodel waved the flag 1 lap early. Now people are having a go at her, which I don't think's fair, because it's not like she just gets sent to go up on the marshal post with no supervision and just go, yeah, just wave it whenever you want, love. That's not how it works, so it's definitely someone else's fault, but it's hilarious. At Sadakist, even F1 was so bored with that race they were hurried to finish it. And at Franson Tova, even the person who waved the checkered flag wanted the race to end early. And that actually meant that the race finished on lap 69 of 70. Makes sense really, doesn't it? Imagine if one of the drivers just stopped and then finished last. F1.hub_ from Instagram. What to say after winning? Grazie ragazzi, la macchina era fantastica. Even I understand that. And I think to round it up, of course, how could we ever forget the seagull? At Ishan_Katecha, domination from Seb, and the classic radio message is back. Grazie ragazzi. So that is it for the internet's best reactions to the Canadian.
Every week you forget.
And now it's time for Race Rundown with your host, Matthew Gallagher.
This is not going to end well. I couldn't even read today, so this is going to be fun. The results of the race are as follows. Vettel, Bottas, Verstappen, Vettel, Bottas, Vettel, Bottas, Verstappen, Vettel, Vettel, Bottas, Verstappen. It's really hot in here. It's really hot in here. Vettel, Bottas, Verstappen. I've got it. It's this time. It's this time. The race results. The race results were as follows. Vettel, Bottas, Verstappen. Vettel, Bottas, Verstappen. Oh, you, Max. Vettel, Bottas, Verstappen. Oh, it's Verstappen every time. I can't move my mouth enough. Vettel, Bottas, Verstappen. Oh, no. Okay, shut up. Here we go. This is the one. Vettel, Bottas, Verstappen. Vettel, Bottas, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Hamilton, Raikkonen, Hulkenberg, Sainz, Ocon, Leclerc, Gasly, Grosjean, Magnussen, Perez, Ericsson, Van der Waals, Sorokin. Yes! And the non-finishers were Alonso, Hartley, Stroll. Cool. Easy, done. Yeah. Bob's your uncle. So that is it for the internet's best reactions to the Canadian Grand Prix. If you want to get involved, use the hashtag WTF1 on Twitter and Instagram, and we'll pick your best reactions as we always do. And if you want to watch another video, click just here. If you want to subscribe, click over here. If you go to a WTF1 shop, buy some sick merch, click over here. I'm Matt with WTF1. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time for the French Grand Prix. Goodbye! Definitely going to bed. It's like 10 o'clock.